had a motion to come back into closed session. And
Open session.
Or in the open session and it's passed, so we are now in open session. Our findings would be that we will not allow Mr. Womack to leave the city forever, hopefully.
Sounds a little like slavery.
You can call it whatever you want. We have the ball and chain ready for you.
Super glue, staples.
Okay. Per our discussion, I would entertain a motion of bumping.
I wasn't sure if you wanted did you want a motion first, Mr. Mayor, to affirm our support of maintaining him?
And
Okay.
We only had to do a motion if we didn't.
Okay, right, but we were going to do it for the benefit of the paper and affirm it, even though it wasn't required. Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to affirm that we are very pleased with Mr. Womack's 6-month evaluation and that we would like to retain him. And at that end, we would like to give him a $2,000 raise.
Second,
That's per year, right?
Per year, yes.
Yes,
for this year only.
for this year.
It's a bump.
Okay.
Okay. Per his contract, he receives a 2% raise, which would be in September, October.
$2,000 raise.
2,000 or 2% raise. His contract states in that each year he will retain or receive, I believe it's a 2% raise. Is
I
that
imagine probably on my hiring date, the 2%.
correct? That's just so everybody's aware.
Okay.
We have a motion.
So we give him 2,000 now and 2% and
He'll get 2% in October.
Wait, so.
That's irrelevant.
So we, this is contract language type stuff.
Correct.
So it sounds like you want to give me a $2,000 raise right now
Correct.
to be, so it's not a bonus. You want this to be reflected in my wages per year.
Per year.
So my continuing rate would be now $74,000.
Correct.
Okay, and then I would still be eligible for a 2%.
Correct.
And 2% would be reflected on the 74,000. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I
what
guess
we're
I wasn't aware of the 2%. I wasn't thinking about that.
read the contract. Okay, is there any further discussion? It's been moved and seconded. I will do a roll call vote. Mr. Clark? Yes. Mrs. Conley?
Yes.
Mr. Gross?
Yes.
Mr. Hopkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Nixon?
Yes.
Mrs. Powell?
Yes.
Mayor all votes yes, and congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, do we need to
Where did
have
it
this
go?
reflected in the budget? Does the budget reflect that amount of money somewhere?
Yes, it is.
We had allocated, this is my understanding, we had allocated actually more than that when we
Yes.
had FAD.
Excellent.
And then we, during the course of the time.
We don't want to get out of a bad letter.
Right.
We-
But then during the course of the time that we were
It's
under
there.
an interim, there was actually less money.
I'm
So
happy.
we're still actually behind the amount, that's my understanding, we're actually behind the amount that we had previously budgeted to pay Mr. Caleb
I'm good.
We have sufficient funds allocated in this year's budget for his.
for this
Salary.
$2,000
Got
increase.
Okay, we've already had closing comments. I would entertain a motion to adjourn unless there is
So moved.
further
So
business to
moved.
be brought forth. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn this evening. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, sign no. No.
I would like to point out that you went through an entire